Hi, welcome to Displacer Geeks. My name is Brian.
And I'm Hudson. We're two geeks talking about the geek.
Today's topic is characters we want to play. We're thinking about playing. We always thought about playing and never did. Or the game systems that we wanted to create characters in have changed and we can't make them the way we wanted to. Wahaha.
Yeah. We could have just said, characters that never will be.
Why?
I got one. My first one is just I've had this character concept for so long and so many opportunities to play it. You still sitting there on the shelf waiting to get dusted off.
First off, what's the character?
It's just an hardcore barbarian, like right? Like it's just quick, easy. You can great for a one shot or maybe like a con where you're just doing like a short run.
Now, wait,
And
hold on real quick. What kind of barbarian?
orc,
Orc. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, they got that ability where if they get hit the 0 hit points, if it doesn't kill them outright, they come back with one. I think
Seems
it's a
pretty
great
good.
ability.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's really
I
good.
think it's and I think it's really great on the barbarian, like a frontline tank. You got to kill him twice.
Or he's
You
gonna go
have to.
crazy.
He's going to go crazy and get you.
Yeah.
I had it we were going to play in Frostwindale, and then somebody else showed up and they're like thinking about playing a barbarian. I'm like, guess I'll play this healing warlock.
Well, you know what's more fun than a barbarian is two barbarians, though. Why didn't you just roll with it and go for two?
I just it's the same reason why I'm glad I'm not playing a Minotaur barbarian in our current campaign. Like it's sometimes the personalities behind two barbarians can be a little much.
Okay. All right. Was that campaign kind of like a classic campaign or
For theme, yeah.
but your DM wasn't running it like a slapstick or anything, right?
No,
Gotcha.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I know one of the characters I make next is going to probably be very similar to this guy right here that my pen's not pointing at that guy right there. I want to
Okay.
make a wild magic sorcerer goblin. That's just
Hmm.
insane and doesn't care if whatever he does might just kill everybody or if he'll grow a beard of feathers because that sounds super fun. And then I also feel like I can make a goblin voice pretty well on the fly. So that would be kind of fun to try out using the voice during the entire campaign.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. But right now, I've been running a game and not really playing in games. So that's why that one hasn't been played yet.
Well, sometimes that's a great way to get those characters in, though, right? Like you just make them, I don't want to say the villain, the antagonist for the episode, for, for like a little run. And like you get to play them. I think it'd be a good thing. Like you're running the game and then you're like, you can just like insert this character idea that you've been wanting to try out and see
Yeah,
how it works. Kind of do a little test run.
true.
I think it's a great opportunity to do some of those things. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a very good point. For all you DMs out there, throw some of your characters in as NPCs and see how it goes.
I was watching a campaign and somebody was playing to Tabaxi Ranger. I thought, man, that's really cool. And I used one as a lackey for somebody.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun because they were very effective at what they did. And I made like a WoW character that I had named like Ratchet L, and she was like a crime boss, a
Yeah.
goblin crime boss, and I did
Oh,
a lot of fun
nice.
stuff with that.
Nice.
I think she might have also been a ranger? Question mark. Um, because she was a shaman in WoW, so I might have made her something. I think ranger would have been made the most sense for her in D&D.
Gotcha. I feel like I unintentionally add goblins to a lot of my campaigns when I'm running games because I love them so much. I swear every time I'm like, it's a goblin, and then after I get done with the session, I'm like, I should probably not make everything goblins.
Probably.
They're
Also,
they're just so
like,
fun.
yeah, I'm gonna pitch it. Like, they're just a great little nuisance character. Sure, they only take one hit, but like low levels, even if you have like a +5, you're like only 50% odds of hitting them. So you're probably going to have to attack them twice.
Yeah, yeah. They
Alrighty,
make
let's
me
see.
smile.
Yeah.
Well, I guess yeah, what's the next character you're thinking that you have not played or never will play for whatever reason?
So definitely will never play. I was thinking about a knight character, but the stick on this guy was that he was a weapon master. He was skilled beyond the other, like just typically people knew him broad and wide for his ability to fight with a broad variety of weapons. And
Hmm.
he would often use like two different weapons in various methods to in a combination for like fighting styles to like really just mess with the opponents, automatically put them on their back hill. Like, I don't know how to fight against the guy that's using a flail and a short sword,
Hmm.
I think. And then I started looking into the rules for making that happen in the current edition because I thought, man, how cool is that? Like,
Yeah,
with
it'd be
the
fun.
weapon masteries, and you can change the weapon masteries with a lot at a long rest. So like, you just got to do like some drills. Just you got to
Oh,
say you're
okay.
doing drills. You can change them up. I'm like,
Yeah.
how cool is that? I could really make that pop. I was looking at the rules. I was reading it like you can't do two normal sized weapons anymore, or unless I'm misunderstanding them.
Oh,
And I was like, oh man, this guy isn't going to work. And I think he needed a fair amount of feats to be kind of relevant too.
gotcha.
So I started looking at how to make the two weapon fighting work better. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how you make it work. I think you just have to have the offhand weapon be have the nick property, and then you can have the your main weapon be the other property. It was like, okay, what weapons have nick? And I was originally going to go with a hammer, and then I started messing around with them, and I was like looking at the different backgrounds, like really like digging into the different backgrounds because they changed the backgrounds up a little bit. And there was a farmer background. I'm like, what's the farmer background got for me? It's got a sickle, my dude. It's what it's got. And I'm like, yes, let's grab the sickle. Okay,
Pretty
okay.
cool.
And I'm like, all right, what do we do for the other weapon? And I'm like, hand axe? Hand axe. And I'm like, okay, obviously we can't go start standard armor, right? So sort of like looking at it, and then like I did the money buy thing, and I got him hide armor. And
That's cool.
I was like, yeah, this is coming together. And I was like, I decided just randomly it was going to be bear hide. I was just like, yeah, it just seems
Yeah.
kind of like the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, what would be the coolest race to be as this fighter?
Wait, don't say anything. Let me see if I can figure out. Well, I'll tell you what I would pick maybe.
Okay.
I would go. I mean, I personally think it'd be cool to see a dwarf or a halfling doing it.
I went halfling.
Ah, hey, all right.
All right, I went halfling. His name, I even came up with a clever name. It's called Bo Wheatstook. And have you ever seen like when they stack wheat to let it dry in the fields? That's a wheat stook.
Nice. That was a good name.
And I was like, yeah. And then like Bo, like the French like B-E-A-U one, just like, and that one's
Yeah.
actually because I was like, he's a good old boy, and I was just like,
Good old.
Luke, oh, Bo. Luke and Bo.
Nice.
We'll just go with Bo.
Awesome.
So,
Very cool. I have a type of character that I would like to play sometime, but I think it would depend on the world that I get to play in. I think it'd be cool to be a character that's just like a historian. So he wants to go out and travel the world and just learn and discover all the things that are out there, write about everything, and then kind of just go back home. So not necessarily a fighting type of person, but has to learn stuff to survive. And I always kind of figure to be halfling because of that calm demeanor or something that you could kind of picture a halfling having, or the curiosity that a halfling has. But that's something I would like to do. Probably
oh
make him a
man.
bard.
Oh man, I think you're missing out, my dude. You should do a ranger archaeologist if they still have that background.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you could be Indiana Jones.
No, I think my guy would be like very low key though. Not into the adventure, but into the knowledge in a way. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep. Oh, I got one I would like to revisit.
Who's that?
The one that I stole your brother's character's name, Rylan, for. He was a wizard, but he was like a boy wizard.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, that was kind of fun. I'm like, whatever. And I was like thinking about it. You know what would be interesting? That guy, like 10 years later, 5 to
Oh,
10 years later, and I'm maybe a little cynical. And the concept was that he had gotten transported, and that's why he was where he was. So he's displaced, he's lost, and he's this kid that's
okay.
lost. Well, now he's older, he's still in this displaced, like, but he's kind of figured out like how he fits there, but he's still kind of like really cynical and like still in a weird, like kind of like half-heartedly at this point, trying to figure out how to like where he originated from is in relation to like where he is currently, and just kind of frustrated with like his efforts and how he has not had a lot of luck
Okay.
piecing it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's had a few adventures and in the meantime, and it kind of made a name for himself in a way.
Hmm.
So
Have you ever played a character that's an older version of one you've already played? I've actually never done that. I don't think.
I no, like not like actually like I've thought about like how that character would be quite a bit. Like what would he look like when he first showed up, like what would he look like just a couple of years later? What would he look like when he actually was kind of on the precipice of returning
Yeah.
slash actually returns even? Like what does that character look like at that point? How does he feel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's interesting. Hmm. When it comes to character creation, it's almost just too darn exciting to create something new. I think I would probably have a hard time going back to an old character.
You know, I think it's okay to go back to an old character, but go back to the old character of the concept of like what would they look like if X was changed, right? So
Yeah.
in my example was like I just aged him a little bit. So he
Yeah.
was right, instead of being like a preteen, he's now 20, right? What does that
Yeah.
look like? Right. So
Sure.
it becomes a very different character, but you've already kind of like ground out like a whole bunch of stuff. Now you're just coming in and like changing some things and polishing some of those rough edges that you didn't like the first time around.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
It is.
Hmm.
In this case, I thought it was, but there's other ones too. Like I've gone back and kind of like reimagined them a little bit, and like sometimes it doesn't really hit the way you want it to.
Yeah. I think that might happen to me, but you never know. Like it's very interesting. Pretty interesting. There's a character, well, we've talked about a little bit. If we were to go back and redo one of our campaigns that my brother ran, I would be semi-tempted to redo a character that I did called Lucan, who was a very classic paladin by the book, goody
Yeah,
two-shoe guy. Be interesting to possibly do that again, but I don't know.
it
Don't
would be
know.
interesting to do Merc again and like lead more into like the 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 Pyrian stuff. And then I think I would start out with him being much more jaded and just like, what's the contract? Like that's
Yeah,
all I'm doing. I'm only doing the contract. I
starting
don't,
out way more murky murk style.
yeah. And I think I would actually have had him maybe been a prisoner, like legit prisoner at some point. Like, and that
Yeah.
was like his fall from grace was him going to prison.
I don't know if I would change much for Lucan, but maybe just role play him differently. Only a little bit differently. I don't
I
know.
I think I would like to see for me, I think the thing I would like to see out of Lacan more would be like the discovery of maybe like this is the world I've known and this is the way it's been, and this is what's right, this is what's wrong, and then discover like maybe there's more to it, right?
Yeah, maybe just him showing more realizations that the world's not what he thought it was.
Not what I thought it was, but even like even if he was kind of right about some of it, or even like the parts that he thought he knew, like he was right within like his limited scope of the world. Like as he learns more and more of the world, he learns that things aren't like that one little portion of the world. Maybe those that's the right way or that's correct. But as you go out and get bigger in those bigger rings, things aren't really the same.
Yeah, interesting.
So,
It would be
but
interesting.
I think there's a lot of room there for that character. Also, I could see some other like speaking of your brother's campaign, like, it'd be fun to like maybe fill in some of those other gaps with a different character.
The worlds do play a big part of it. So as much as you think like, oh, this might be my next character that I play, but it totally depends on the world because if your DM says, "Hey, I have an idea, I want to run a world like this," it might not fit with your
Yeah,
thing at all.
yeah.
In fact, this wild mage goblin, I would lean towards like a humorous, like lighthearted campaign almost because
Even
or
just a
even a
basic,
standard, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel like he would be kind of a comic relief, but also he could total party kill on accident. So
It would, but also like think about how sweet that one moment is. Like we're down, we're down to like the last straw. Like everything's on the precipice, right? Like it's do or die. And you cast a spell and that wild magic goes completely bonkers. It does exactly what we need. Like how
yeah.
cool would that be too,
Oh,
you know?
it'd be super fun. I would like that a lot. I
So
just the randomness would be very fun to play off of. Everything would be
yeah.
dynamic and just go with the flow and just imagine it'd be a lot of funny moments.
Yeah. I think you also have to be willing to be the annoying character that's occasionally useful
Oh
with
yeah.
with the wild magic sorcerer because even if you're trying to be a serious character, like just so much the randomness of it and like the potential negative side effects. Like some of them are, oh, I got a beard of feathers in like in your example, right? Like that's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, whatever. Some of them like, oh, I accidentally turned myself into a sheep. Isn't that funny? Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Good to throw things for a loop for that session.
right. But like when you need that fireball to go off and you turn yourself into a sheep,
Yeah.
you go, oh, there's some 30 raiders coming down the road. I got this fireball. Oh, no, I'm a sheep.
Yeah.
Fireball didn't go off.
Yeah.
Like that's you got to be like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me right now.
Which would be the fun of this for me. Might not be fun for my players though, or for the other party members.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. That'd be good. And then one character that I kind of played, and I got mixed feelings about it. Like, I don't think I wanted to play him more than what I did in the campaign that he was in, but I think I want to play him more is Bruticus.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. It was just like, I
Minotaur
think,
Barbarian. Wow.
yeah, I think his entry in that campaign was pretty good, pretty solid. And given, especially given the other characters, I don't think he was personality wise, he was necessarily a good fit for that campaign. That being said, like just that Minotaur Barbarian was, I played it a couple times. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty BA. Big
Well, you
old
want,
cow dude with an axe. Can't go wrong with
yeah.
that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yep, yep. With the name
Whew.
Bruticus.
Oh man.
Speaking of
That,
Bruticus, I would like to probably play like a former gladiator of sorts. That would be fun. Gladiator type of character. or even one that is a gladiator, honestly.
My Goblin Queen was a gladiator when she started.
Nice.
Nice.
The shield and flail.
Yep, Shield and Flail. She had one that was technically illegal, actually.
One that's started on fire.
I don't think I got that one. What I got was a flail of wounding. So when she did damage with it, that damage couldn't be healed unless it was a long rest or a short rest. So that was illegal in the gladiatorial pits, but it wasn't illegal for her to have it. It was just like,
I
so when she
gotcha.
was like, she just couldn't use it in the gladiatorial pits.
Awesome. That sounds like fun.
It was. I did something similar to Giovanni. I She had a dress with pockets, but the pockets were the haversack of holding, like your
Oh yeah.
vest.
Oh
Yeah.
nice.
So she was just like pulling stuff out of her pockets all the time. Look, it's got pockets, and pull all this random stuff out.
Nice.
I kind of picture her
Awesome.
like running around like a red dress and like a straw hat, and then like it was time to fight. She's like pulling a shield out, pulling it out of her pocket. You're like, where did that come from? It's got pockets.
Awesome. Really, the moral of today's story is you need to make goblins because they're fun. That's that's what we learned today. We need to make more goblins.
Goblins are a lot of fun. I don't know that I like in the near future that I would do one, but if somebody came up to me and be like, let's do a goblin campaign where it's just a bunch of goblins, I'll be like, yeah. And like,
Yeah.
are we evil goblins or good goblins? Because I need to know right now.
Is there such a thing? Isn't it just
No,
all
they're
mixture?
kind of yeah, they're kind of leaning towards like the goblins are just more like misunderstood slash
I was just making a
outcasts.
joke.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just saying like that's kind of like the modern leaning of the
Yeah.
goblins.
All right. Hey, well, with that being said, make more goblins in your future. I'm sticking to it. You need to be playing more goblins, everyone. And when you're playing, make sure you're having fun. Don't forget, it's the number one thing in games, by the way. Have fun. And let us know in our comments below what characters you plan to play, or even which characters you did play and you had a lot of fun. So that'd be sweet to see. So like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks.
Keep on gaming.